Allahu Akbar to all the people of the earth. The Baha'i greeting, God is the most glorious. Time is 11:02. Today is 11th of May, Friday. And I'm on the case, trying to explain and interpret this magnificent writing of Baha'u'llah. Last night I did have a brief discussion that would lead us to an idea of the free will in the Baha'i Faith and how does that work. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about that, and then I get into this, because this tone of language in this kind of a thing that Baha'u'llah says will lead us to think that way. I've understood in the Baha'i Faith there's absolutely free will for mankind to do whatever he wants to do, bad or good. God under no circumstances will interfere in what the man does. He can't. He literally cannot and will not. Because he has given the willpower to man, and willpower is what he is using to do it. In that way, he has made us like himself, as it is written in the book in the past. Having willpower makes us authoritative in not listening. That's what it is. So therefore there is a willpower for whatever man wants to do. This willpower is not given to animals, to the plants, to the nature, but to man, to the intelligent being, wherever in the universe, to have the willpower. However, on the side of the willpower as well, God has created a consequence. That is, He is not stopping you to do tonight whatever you want to do, but there is a consequence for what you do. For every action there's a reaction. But if God knows that a murderer tonight is deciding to go to kill a child, and if he doesn't do anything about it, he becomes a cruel, insensitive God. The fact is that he doesn't know what we are going to do. Why? Because he has given us the willpower. But knowing what might we do, he has barred us from this by creating a consequence. You do this, that's the consequence. You do that, that's the consequence. Good has a consequence, bad has a consequence. This is what it is. So in that way, we know the thing that we are doing is not good for us. We touch the fire, immediately we burn. The consequence tells us that we can't put our hand through the fire. So when we do the bad thing, when we lie, we get beaten up, we lose, then we know there's a consequence. That is how we could find out what to do as far as the right or wrong. The third thing he has done, he has also created a revelation from the cause, from the realm of the cause, by actually manifesting his willpower, which is him, now and then, to come in the planet Earth as we know, or other planets, to create a revelation, an outline. So we're not all that lost. But that's all it is. Besides that, there is no other thing. The free will is working. When you look at these lines here, Baha'u'llah in these lines that he's talking about, he himself, and he says to God, you made me, you manifested into me, you have created this Baha'i Faith. The way he speaks, it is all exposed to be vandalized, is exposed to be perverted, is exposed to anything to happen to it by mankind. He's asking for help. He does. Remember the last, you have to listen to the last videos. Now we're talking about the cause. He says, this is the cause that you have made it. You remember last night. Now it goes and continues. He says, Pas zebad zolm hefzash da'orto. He's talking about the revelation, the Baha'i Faith. He says, Pas then ze from bod, wind, means of, zolm means transgression, tyranny. Okay. Hefzash da'orto, protected you. He says to God, you have created these revelations, you have manifested in me, you have, enkindled this candle, then protect it from the wind of tyranny. God is not protecting the Baha'i Faith? No. He does. But man is standing in the front. He could pervert it. Yeah. I gave you a couple of these evidences last night. Abdu'l-Baha says, if the Baha'is are not united wholeheartedly, there's religion, there's revelation, this dispensation, like the dispensation of the past, shall be corrupted, disintegrated. Nothing will remain from it, except some names in the libraries of the world. So we are capable of destroying it. We are actually have the capacity to say no to God and bearing the consequence. Consequence will come when we say no, but yet we say no to Him. Thank you, God. Hell with you, God. Hell with your manifestation, and hell with your Baha'i Faith. Throw it in the garbage. We don't want it. We could say that, actually. And He's helpless. God of the universe is helpless. Why? Because He cannot actually. As I told you that this is the prime directive of universe. He will not and cannot interfere in the matter of another intelligent being, a mini God. Okay. For so many years, 70 years, that we are allowed to dispute with Him. Baha'u'llah, knowing that this has happened, ask God, please protect it from the transgression. How would God be able to do this? Unless me and you get up and help it. He has to use another intelligence like me and you to get up and protect the faith of God. Shall we offend you again? Will this religion be another addition to the religions of the past? Another problem heaping on the problems that we had before? Will it establish in the world? Shawway says, it's up to you. If you like it, it will. If you don't, it won't. You can't say more frank than this. So, continuing, he says, then from the wind of the tyranny protected you. تا شود ظاهر از او انوار تو. Till it becomes ظاهر, manifest, clear, evident, as from him, Baha'u'llah, the Baha'u'llah we know in the earth, anwar to. Anwar means the lights, effulgence of you. This is protected from this wind of the tyranny. You might shut this light till it become manifest from him, your light. If you don't protect him, he says, it won't. دست دشمن از سرش کوته نما. Dast, the hand of dushman, enemy, as from sarash, his head. Kutah actually is kutah, but the A can go and becomes kutah in abbreviations for the poetry. Kutah means shorten, nama. Kutah nama means take away the hand. So, the hand of the enemy from his head, this is an expression in Persian, the hand of the enemy from his head, kutahnama, shorten it. That means protect him from the hand of the enemy that wants to destroy Baha'i Faith. They are out there. Baha'u'llah is pleading to God, please. You did it, you revealed it. You manifest it. Okay. Eitomauhe amro shauhe ennamao. That is something here, right? A means O to you, Mah means the moon, E of Amr, the cause of God, and Shah, Shah means the king of, Ennama, verily. So let's talk about this. Shah Ennama, the king of verily, is really a reference to the successor of Muhammad. We call him Imam Ali. He's like Abdu'l-Baha in the Baha'i Faith, he's like Abdu'l-Baha in Islam. This verse is a reference to him when he was, this is in chapter 5, Al-Ma'idah, the divine food, the manna. I think verse 54, 55, either of those. And the verse goes basically, God is your guardian and his prophet. And those who believe, and those who do the obligatory prayer, while doing the obligatory prayer, also pay to the poor when they're bowing down for God. The story was that Imam Ali was at the prayer, in the Islamic prayer, and he was bending down, as it is procedures of the prayer, and a poor man comes in, and he asks for something. Ali had a ring at his, finger. He takes his hands off like this. The beggar knew what he wants. He says, come. As he's doing, Ali does this, so the beggar takes the ring out of his hand. God is saying that, look, he's praying, but he knows there are beggars. He will do that as well. So the verse, even Sunnis, they accept that this was about Imam Ali, because while he was praying, he offered the ring, precious ring probably, on his hand to the poor man. This is why they call him the Shah en-Nama, because en-Nama is the beginning of this verse. Verily, en-Nama. Shah en-Nama means the king of en-Nama, means that him. Now, what is Baha'u'llah? Who is he talking now to? He switches to something very strange. In the religion, usually, the son is the prophet, but he calls him the Mah, which means the moon. O you, the moon of the cause and the king of Ennama, verily. Imam Baha'u'llah is asking an inferior power, apparently, by the standard that we know of, which is not the sun, but it is the moon of the cause. Amr means the cause, a religion. He's not talking the son of the cause. Well, that is himself. But he says, oh, the moon of the cause. Well, the moon in the religion always refers to the successor of the prophet. It's described as he is the sun. The sun gives light to the very first one after him, which would be who? Imam Ali, which would be John the Baptist, which would be Aaron with Moses, which would be the Eve with Adam, which would be Abdu'l-Baha in the Baha'i Faith. Baha'u'llah is asking Abdu'l-Baha for help. Mah Amr is Abdu'l-Baha. And anybody else that gets light from him. Those who get the light, they're enlightened. So it says, cut off the hand of the enemy from him, from his head, that means from him. O you, the moon of the cause and the king of verily. He's asking Abdu'l-Baha for help. Because Baha'u'llah knows God's hand is tied up. He has entered a contract, a covenant. In this covenant, which is 3 elements, A, man is free what he wants to do. B, there is a consequence. 3, there shall be a revelation and guidance and manual for man to live the life. 3 things. So asking Abdu'l-Baha to help, which he himself is the king of the verily, the one that who knows, helps people. He complains again to God. He says, Bengar in sham'at ke gashte mubtala. Bengar, look at, in this, sham'at, your candle, ke, that, gashte, has become, mubtala, afflicted. Mubtala means afflicted. He says, look at your candle that has become afflicted. در میان گردباد پربلا. In the middle of the twister. Gerdebad means twister. Bad means wind. Gerd means cycle, round. Persian to the twister they say round wind or Gerdebad. He says he's afflicted in the middle of a twister, Porbala, full of tribulations. Por means full. Bala means tribulations. Because he was in that situation. Baha'u'llah, he says that. From all the 6 directions I'm attacked. He was. Muslims were after him, Shiites. Now he comes to Turkish Empire. Sunnis are after him too now. The rest of the Muslims have waken up. The Babis, who followed the Bab apparently, headed with Azal, their young brother, he is after Baha'u'llah and has poisoned him. In the Baha'is, there is conflict. They're not happy with each other. Just always letter. This guy did that to me. That guy did that to me. Okay. All kind of ways Baha'u'llah was in trouble. So he says, look at your candle that has become afflicted in the middle of this twister full of tribulations. He's saying completely, I'm helpless to God. But he gave us a hint. He's talking to Abdu'l-Baha in this case. And others, he's talking to us, that God has manifested in us. He says, I am the manifestation of God, but he's also in you. Or I am, as he said on the previous one, giving you lights. The light comes into me, he says, and from me comes into you. If you're getting the light, any one of you, come and help, he says. چون ز انوار جمالت نور یافت. When from the lights of your beauty, te means you, your beauty, Jamal, nur yaft, found light or enlightened, پس مکن در نزد امکانش تو مات. Okay. Then do not in front of creation, people, you mot dark. He took light from you. He says, do not make me in front of the people darkened if you gave me light. Mat means dark, darkened. Is what we use in the word is used in the, what is that game that you guys like to play? Chess game. You say checkmate. It's actually mate is mat. This is that mat. We say the guys became mat in the game of the chess game. You know, when the king cannot move, it becomes mat. Okay. Mat has few meaning. Here it means darkened. Okay. A mat glass means a glass that is dark. So he says to God, you've given him light. Please don't darken him in front of the people. That means God might do. Will it? Really? No. God has created all the means for you to do it. But he won't has any other help besides that. Okay. I will explain a bit more. It's confusing, I know. He says again, چون که کردی روشنش خاموش مکن. Since you have made him enlightened, Roshan, Ash means the third person. Since you have enlightened him, خاموش مکن. Don't extinguish it, this is. Since you enlighten it, do not extinguish it. چون که هوشش داده ای بی هوش مکن. Since you have given him intelligence, the hush, awareness, be hush makom. Do not make him an aware. Make him aware. Be hush means faint. Fainting. When you're fainting, you become bihush. Be means without. Be means without. Hush is abbreviated of hush. Hush. The same hush here, you can take the W out and simply say hosh, not u. U turns into o. Hosh. Be hosh means without awareness. So the whole tone of this thing is that Baha'u'llah says to God, listen, you've done everything, he says. Now you're letting me down. Don't please let me down, he says to God. It's all yours. Can God anything to do about it? No. Not as far as I'm concerned. But God has created this universe in such a way that an intelligent mind, using the procedure, the third element, which is his revelation, he should solve any problem at all. Any problem. If he can't, he is not worth it to live. He has to die. He has to come home. It's no good. Told you before, this is what Neanderthal gone. Baha'u'llah's brought the Baha'i Faith. If people, they want to. There's no force here. If they don't, God says, thank you very much. It's mine, okay. Put it in his pocket, it goes. So you solve the problem, he says. But if you say no to him, who's the manufacturers, without the manual, you want to solve the problem, good luck. Probably you can't. What's going to happen if you can't? You're going to destroy your planet. But God says, okay then. As sorry as he is, he can't do anything about it. Jesus says it's like farmer. He's farming here soul. If the soul, they don't want to help themselves to to survive and live after this life, God says, who am I to tell you no? Go ahead. It seems like a senseless God sometimes, as if He doesn't exist even. That is not the case. But His existence is when you're into it. I'll give you an example, for example. That I, in Iran, at age 18, I became Baha'i, I started to teach. The trouble became so hard that I had no place to live, and I had to climb the hydro pole closer to the houses, industrial places. This particular one was a stable of the cows. I would jump over the roof and sleep on the top of the roof, because in the street in the night the police will catch me and put me onto the jail. Where's your house? I have none. I told them a few times. So, Muslims from all the directions, they tried to completely boycott me. I didn't know too many Baha'is, to be honest with you. Later on I found that there were some Baha'is. I didn't know even I should be held. I didn't know it. So, at the end of the day, regime came and changed everything, and I, along the rest of the people, because I was teaching, I taught this Mr. Shahmirzadi. He ended up giving me jobs, because nobody was boycotting me, they weren't giving me jobs. And I was a good mason. I finished 2 houses for him, halfway in the middle, and he gave me 50,000, by which I went to India. You see? I had to be a Mason and a Baha'i, if not I could have not done it. So, but it's all in there. And then I ended up coming to Canada. There I become a salesman. I told you, Jack said that, Dad made me aware of it. I couldn't even think of it at that time, when I was 25, 26, when I came in this country. He told me, you've been selling intangible material all along. I says, what do you mean? He says, you've been selling religion. I said, what religion? I don't sell religion. He says, no, fool. I mean, you've been talking to people, convincing them. Well, that is salesmanship. That's all it is. Now you learn English, you translate it, and you become such a ferocious salesman. You go there and you sign up the job right away. Now, look, I told him, you know what, you were right. I never knew such a thing as that. What I'm trying to tell you again, just repeat, that money is there, power is there, whatever is needed to get the job done is there, is within it. As you go, it will come out. Like so many things in the universe that we have been thinking and thoughtfully, we have come right to this point. From the cave we are here today. So God has left every possible things that an intelligent being requires to survive physically, and an intelligent being who is spiritual and understand there has to be a God, there has to be a hand. He has created this revelation today called Baha'i Faith alongside of his nature to use it and solves the problem. If he doesn't, God says there's no point. He won't be able to continue to the second level of existence. Because in the seventh level of existence, you have to have a serious software. The nature gives you the hardware as a body. It installs a hardware, comes with it, which is like a window, humanity, thinking power. Then there is a file, your personality, your characters. Who are you? You have to write it down. If it's a bad file, it's going to get deleted naturally. If it's a good file, it will automatically rejuvenate itself and come right out as soon as it's dead. His body is gone and his mind is so vibrant and great, knows exactly where he is, what to do, is all the faculty, he thrives and survives. If it doesn't have that, he can't. So what's the point of God helping? The moment you start to help you and interfere in your life and make you, become a spiritual in this and that, then you are an animal. All the animals are spiritual, all of them. You definitely do not do anything more than what is being, written in their files, in their software, all of them. But they can't go to the next existence, because the next level of existence is called the will zone. People, will zone, not time zone. You have no will. You're done. And this will cannot be material will either, because there's no matter there. It has to be a spiritual will. You should not be bent down under the force, under the, wrong things. So, Baha'u'llah, he says, I am helpless. He asks for help, literally. He says, I might die, I might go. Everything can collapse. Many Baha'is, they think, oh, we're Baha'i, Baha'u'llah does everything, It's all in his hand. It's all. There is no such a thing as destiny. You want me to be very serious? Let me use the American expression. Bullshit it is. There isn't. He's given you willpower. He can't interfere. God is not like Saddam Hussein. He's more like a government of America. They can't push you. They tell you, these are the laws, you're free in the society, whatever hell you want to do, but there's consequences for you. You do bad, the law will get you. And there's a constitution guides you to go. In this case, Baha'i Faith is that constitution. It guides you, to find out and to go. If you made a mistake, I'm sorry. So, I'm the elder of God. I'm helping Baha'u'llah. I'm responding when he says, Maha Amr. But I need your help as well to solve our problem. All right? God is not cruel. He can't do what you ask him to do. He has given you willpower, which is his own will that he has shared a little bit of it to you. So, then you are a mini God, You have to help. He's coming down, he says, the same terms as you. My Baha'u'llah, my manifestation. I get pain, I get all kind of things, There's nothing guaranteed. Remember that. Nothing is guaranteed. No one is guaranteed. Baha'u'llah is not guaranteed. He's not. He's asking right here. He's asking for help. But people don't like this kind of God. They say, what is this guy talking about? He's almost like a communist. God, we know does this and that and that. If God that is supposed to do all of these things, I will put that God into trial. Because thousands and millions of people are suffering every day. If God can do something about it and He doesn't, then I don't want that God. He can't, people, He can't. But again, He's kind for three reasons. A, He has given you willpower. 2, He has created the consequences, so don't touch the bad things and get encouraged to do the good things, because the consequences of bad is really awful, consequences of good is really nice. But besides that, He also personally Himself has revealed Himself in the spirit of a man, become His manifestation, talking to us and living all these right things, for which He has suffered such a humiliation. What else can He do to prove His love towards us? You think He should give you the money, or He should get rid of the transgressors and all of that and all of that and all of that? He tells you that? The answer is this. If I do this, I reduce you to the level of animal, then you have no willpower. Then there is no second level of existence. So if I'm kind, I have to give you the willpower. But if I give you willpower, I cannot interfere. Sure, I can come and kill my son if doesn't obey. That's not going to give me a son if I kill him. Because I love him, isn't it? So what do I have to do? I have to talk nicely. Please, boy, listen to me. And this and that. Because of the love relationship that he has with creation, especially with mankind, after all, we are of him. We have his willpower, borrowed from him in us. For sometimes to do something with it, which I discussed in this Mathnavi from before. Now, this is the free will zone that you have to do things. For example, there's a time here. Time helps you to heal all the physical things. When it comes to spiritual things, will does not, time cannot help. Somebody gives you a bad word, for the rest of your life you never forget him. You see that the face of his face is forgotten. You don't know who is the guy is, what his name is, where this has happened to you. You never remember none of that. But when they say what he told you, you remember that because you got hurt. Why? Hurting is something not of time. Time cannot help it. It's a will zone. You have to will to get out of it. You can't will, and that stays on you, that germ till eternity. Yeah, this is new in the religion. All the religion have said that before a little bit, but Baha'u'llah, washed it right down clearly. Never mind you that want help, I need help, he says. Yeah, it's our own universe. All of us have to get up and solve it. It's our problem. It's got to do with our eternity. It's got to do with our willpower. It's got to do with our soul. Our Father only can do certain amount. Our Mother Nature does certain things for us. But then Mother lives here. We have to leave everything she's given us back to her. What the Father God, which is the material, the spiritual part that is given to us, we have to work on it. If we remain a little child, well, naturally we will get destroyed in a society where you have to be doing something. If you're addicted or handicapped or blind or a lot of deficiency we will die. We don't survive. In order to survive, we have to be healthy in the next life. So all of this helps, though. It's a good news, very good news. It's a tender. Baha'u'llah's learners giving a tender. Come on, guys, get hired. Come on, work for me. Come into the amr, which is the cause. Come. All of you get hired if you start to teach tomorrow. And as soon as you start to teach tomorrow, you see amazing visions, amazing dreams. Then there's no discriminations. Every human being at any point of time can return. Even Charlie Manson can change. Bin Laden can change. Saddam can change. Hitler can change. If he wants to, nobody stops him. Come, he says, change. Will it to get out. Come. So, this is why I am here talking to you. Please do not be encouraged by this things is in the back of your head. I know that one of the biggest weaknesses of every good man in the earth is not to become famous, but is to become recognized. That, hey, you are a good man, you are doing this. I'll tell you anything else. If you're not getting recognized, it's because you're too big. I'm not recognized by the Baha'is because I'm way bigger than them. Way bigger brothers and sisters. I'm not very proud of this. It seems my station of mind and my thought is well beyond understanding of the Baha'is who are dying in Iran right now. They're paying ultimate price, but you can't see me. Because the elders of God, as Abdu'l-Baha says in the some answered question, they reign eternally. I am the eternal king. I'm manifesting that power and that knowledge to you. That's why you can't see me. Is this really what I want though? No. I want all of you to understand it. To become me. I rather be recognized by every one of you. I rather millions like me on the planet. Not just one. The Godhead might be the biggest things that you can imagine, but it's too lonely. When you become God, you can do anything you want to do in this universe, but no one knows you. See? No one knows you even exist. What is the point of a power that cannot be recognized by anybody? The loneliness. I rather not to be lonely. I rather to see thousands of me and way better than me if possible. I'm begging to learn something. No one is able to teach me anything. Okay. May God be with you.